creek. Walk 'em up and down in the summer heat. Same old boy changing like the seasons. Country kid turning to a town right heathen. Country kid turning to a town right heathen.
So, Old Man Van here. I'm in the Old Man Van cave, the Old Man Van castle. Sorry about the shadow on my face here. It's because I got the windows open and there's shadows. But this is just really quick here. What is Old Man Van going to wear to the London Marathon? Meaning, what is he going to wear during the London Marathon? As you know, I've been wearing the Saucony Endorphin Elites version 1, and I really like them. I raced a half marathon this past weekend, 5Ks all the way up to the half marathon, and I really do like them. However, I'm keeping my options open here 4 weeks out from London. I got some more long runs to do, some more up-tempo stuff, and I'm trying out a couple of other pair to see if they line up or surpass the Saucony Endorphin Elite. So here we go. Here are the 3 shoes that are going to take on this pre-London cage match. So first of all, over here, I know I'm going the wrong way, is my trusty dusty Saucony Endorphin Elites. This is my second pair. I have a pair that I've been wearing in races, but I bought a brand new pair that I'll get a few miles in before London if I do choose to wear these. Also looking for another stable super shoe option, I have the Nike Alphafly 3. As you know from my videos, I've never been able to wear Nikes. They've always been too narrow for me in the forefoot. However, the Alphafly 3 is supposed to be wider in the toe box. I ordered a half size up based on the recommendations I saw online, going from an 11.5 in my regular size to a 12. So I'm going to try them out. And hey, I've heard that they are really good in the later miles of a marathon, saving your legs. So I'm really excited to give them a try. And lastly, I have a brand new shoe here that was just released in the United States recently. It already had been released in Japan. This is the ASICS S4 Plus Yogiri. This is their third super shoe to go along with the ASICS Metaspeed Sky and the ASICS Metaspeed Edge. This is a little more stable. It's geared more towards 3-hour to 4-hour marathoners. It's got more stability in it, probably just slightly heavier than those other shoes, maybe around 8 ounces versus around 7. And it's got a carbon plate in it, and it's got the same midsole material, just a little firmer on the bottom there. I'm going to give these a try as well because I've heard that they are geared to provide support for those of us who need a little bit of support and are geared towards, again, 3 to 4 hour marathoners. So I'm going to give them a try. So basically what we have here are 3 super duper carbon fiber super shoe options for Old Man Van, all with some stability in them. Again, the Endorphin Elite over here, really stable. I've really enjoyed that shoe. All of them are supposed to be stable options, and I'm looking forward to trying out an Alphafly for the very first time. So there you have it. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be trying all these shoes out. I already know about the Endorphin Elite. Now I got to try the Alphaflys out, maybe on my 22 miler this weekend. We shall see. It's almost here. It's almost here. A week and less than a day to the London Marathon, and I'm so ready to get across the pond and get ready to race a week from tomorrow. In this video, I'm going to cover the 21-mile long run I did with the Alphafly 3 and the shorter run I did with the S4 Yogiri. I'm also going to cover my fueling strategy for the London Marathon. Now, as you should already know from my previous videos, I'm a Crank Sports E-Gels fan. Right here, my Crank Sports E-Gels, these are the regular version. They have now come out with the turbo version. That is the turbo E-Gel. That has 50 milligrams of caffeine in it. Finally, a caffeinated E-Gel. So we're going to go over that a little bit, and I'll give you a little summary after the run videos. But before we get out to the runs, a couple of things. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll get notified when more videos are posted. As always, comments, any and all comments really does help my channel. And if you have friends, running pals, teammates, colleagues, family members that you feel will like the Old Man Van Running channel, please let them know. So without further ado, let's get out to the run videos. It's April 6th, 2025. I'm getting ready to do my last 20-mile long run before I go into my 3-week taper for London. 3 weeks from today. Pretty excited about that. Now, key thing today is to dial everything in, right? I've been working on my nutrition. I've been working on my pacing. Today is going to be a progression run, but it's not going to be each mile a little bit faster. It's going to be kind of 3 10K sections with a 1 mile warm up and a 1 mile cool down. So basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to go out nice and easy, warm up for a mile. Then I'm going to go zone 2 for the first 10 kilometers. Second 10 kilometers, I'm going to go marathon pace plus 10%. So that's going to be right around 8:47 per mile. And then the last 10K is going to be at marathon pace. So 7:55 to 8 minutes, and then a mile cool down. So that's the progression run for today. Now, a couple of things, right? You never try something new on race day. So although this isn't the singlet I'm going to wear, because I have my London Marathon specific Old Man Van running singlet, I will be wearing, likely if it's cool, an Under Armour short sleeve base layer. If not, just the singlet. I do have nip strips on, right? Always have to have those because you don't want the bloody nipple issue in the middle of a race. I'm wearing my tried and true Oleco Distance half tights. I'm also wearing my Polar heart rate monitor here. Now, for nutrition, what am I going to do today? So let's head over here and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So every 30 minutes, I'm going to take a Crank Sports e-gel, right? So I have the regular e-gels right here, and I have 2 of the turbo e-gels, which have 50 milligrams of caffeine. Those I will take, later in the run. I won't take those early in a marathon. I'm only going to take those probably in the last 10 kilometers. But anyway, I've got, let me see here, a total of 6 for today, 1 every 30 minutes. And typically in a marathon, I'll probably take 7 and maybe have an extra, an 8th just in case. As for hydration, I don't need to take a drink mix for that. These e-gels have plenty of electrolytes in them, so you do not need to take a dedicated electrolyte drink. So water only, that's what I take in my marathons. That's what I'm going to take today, and just the e-gels. So what did I do this morning? This morning, I had my tried and true pre-run, pre-race breakfast, which is a bagel with some peanut butter and some jelly, right? So 1/2 with peanut butter, the other half jelly. And I had a banana, and I had a cup of coffee. That's typically what I do. And the reason I do that is I want to clean myself out, right? I want to make sure I clean myself out. I don't have any issues during the run. I am going to do something else that I always do in my races, and I'm going to do it today because it shouldn't be any different than race day, is Imodium. I'm debating whether I'm going to take 1 or 2. I don't have any issues taking Imodium. It doesn't dehydrate me or anything like that. It just prevents any issues out there on the race course. What I'm also going to do is probably take 1 gel, 1 regular Crank Sports e-gel about half an hour before my run starts. That gets some carbohydrates in there, right? And then I do have a bottle of Tailwind Recovery mix that I take right after my run. So that's got protein in it. It's got carbs, so you see complete protein, carbs, electrolytes. So that's important to take right after that long run, right? To start the recovery process. Now, before I go, I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to massage my leg muscles with my Hyperease Hypervolt, my percussion massager. That's going to loosen things up before I get to the trail. Once I get to the trail, I'm going to do some active stretching, some activation exercises. And again, that first mile is going to be extremely slow, just warming up the muscles, so there's no shock to the system when I start increasing the paces. Now, the weather out there, no rain, it's a little damp. It's going to be maybe 45 to 50 through most of the run, maybe get up to 51 or 52. I may wear some arm warmers. I may wear some very light gloves that I can put into my pocket. I am going to wear my light Ultra Spire hydration vest, carry 1 flask with me, but I'll have bottles of water in my car. So I'm setting it up so I can stop at the car if I need to replenish that water bottle. Not an issue today, obviously, during the marathon. I'm going to be taking, water or bottles. I think they have the little plastic bottles, which actually for me will be better because I can carry it with me. Today, it's critical that I take on enough fluids, and I have fluids when I take those gels. The other thing that I always wear is my naked belt. This is where I'll carry my phone. I can carry extra gels. I do have 2 pockets on the back of these distance half tights, but the naked belt doesn't jostle around, doesn't cause any issues. I can put my phone in there without having to put it on one pocket on the side of my half tights, which then adds weight to one side. So this is the best thing to do. Now, shoes, that's the big thing. So I've been wearing the Endorphin Elites for 5Ks all the way up to the half marathon. In fact, I got my half marathon PR last weekend wearing the Endorphin Elites. So today, though, I'm going to try out a new pair of shoes. I'm not going to do it on race day. I need to test them today. And that pair of shoes is the Nike Alphafly 3s. There you have it, the Nike Alphafly 3s. I purchased these to test them out. They're supposed to be somewhat stable. I did order a half size up, size 12. I tried them on and they do fit well, and good thing I did go a half size up. So I'm going to test them out today, see what happens. Are they going to be my marathon shoe? I know the Endorphin Elites are good. They work well for me, but hey, you know what? I'm a shoe tuber, I'm a YouTuber. Might as well try out another pair and see if this is even a better option. That being said, I will bring another pair of shoes in case I start having issues. I can change them out, right? So got to be safe there. Got to get this 20 miler in. And if those aren't working, then I will have another pair of shoes to try on. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to get ready to head out to the Farmington Canal Trail and get this run in. Okay, I'm hitting the half-hour mark, 347 miles. My zone 2, my max heart rate must be estimated lower than it actually is, because I've been running low 8s and I'm right around 140, and it's saying my zone 2 is like 143. So I'm in really good shape, but I think my zones might be screwed up a little bit. So I'm going to take my first Crank Sports E gels here. So I'm about 6 3/4 miles in. How about these Alphafly 3s? Well, a little clunky at slow paces. When I picked it up, getting close to marathon pace, felt a lot better. I'm not feeling as much of a trampoline effect as I thought I would, but, so I'm not sure. They do have some stability, but they do feel a little less stable than the Endorphin Elites. So we'll see how the rest of the run goes. What I did notice, though, as I said in the previous little clip, my heart rate's relatively low for the pace I was running, so maybe I'm getting that efficiency without realizing it. So more to come. Okay, that's it. 21 miles, 21.02. Here it is on my watch. Don't know if you can see it. Kind of hard to see, huh? Right there. 2102, 257, 18, 826 per mile total, and that's with 1 mile warm-up, 1 mile very slow cool down. So everything in between, so 19 miles was probably in the 18s. Now, the Alphafly 3s, I'm not sure. I mean, they did fine. I don't think they're as stable as the Endorphin Elites. I like the roll in the Endorphin Elites, and they didn't feel as soft. I keep hearing they're so much softer, and I didn't feel that today. They fit true to size. I just noticed that my cadence kind of picks up when I go faster, not so much my stride length. And I think the Endorphin Elites might be a little bit better for that kind of turnover, but we shall see. I had some tired legs today. Groin's a little sore. This is the final big long run. I won't have anything longer than, say, 15 or 16 here on out. So, good run today. I'm glad I got it done. That's, I think, like 54 miles for the week, 53 or 54 miles. So, good week. Hey, everybody. Old Man Van here. I'm at the Quinnipiac River Trail in Wallingford, Connecticut. Today is the 11th of April, 2025. I'm just about to enter the weekend of my 16th week, and that'll leave me 2 weeks left to taper. 2 weeks from this Sunday to the London Marathon. Now today, I'm testing out the ASICS S4 Plus Yogiri. It is a carbon fiber race shoe geared towards sub 4-hour marathoners, a little bit heavier than the other super shoes out there, heavier than the Metaspeed Edge and Metaspeed Sky, but very similar construction, but more stable, more structure, maybe a little less soft, but I'm really looking forward to wearing these. They're pretty. Look at these beauties. Love the colorway. You've got the S4 Plus Yogiri on the side there. Really nice. Now the color's pretty cool, and I'm afraid to get them dirty. It's not raining out here. Hopefully it won't be muddy or wet out on the trail. I'm gonna do 6 to 7 today, and I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit to kind of test these out a bit. Feeling really good, first week of taper. So without further ado, let's get out on the trail and get this run started. Interesting feeling so far. First mile in 8:45. Keeping my heart rate in zone 1. The shoes, you know, it's only 1 mile. They're a little firmer than, definitely firmer than the Alphafly 3 and the Saucony Endorphin Elite, and also the ASICS Metaspeed Edge Plus. A little slappy, I think might be just first run. A little slappy more on my right foot than my left foot. There's definitely some stability there. Pop-wise, nothing really amazing, but the pace is pretty good, I guess. I don't know if the foam, the 2 types of foam, it's got a little bit of a firmer foam underneath. I'm moving along at a good pace, at a good heart rate, so it's pretty good. You know, I think they might soften up a bit. These might need a little more of a break-in than, say, one of those other super shoes. More to come. So, the S4 Plus Yogiris have started to settle in. You know, I think it just needed a couple miles to loosen up that firmer foam. You know, there's not a pronounced rocker. It's just kind of smooth. Still a little slappy, but not as much as it softens up. But I'm running a pretty decent pace. I've been in the low 8s to mid 8s the entire time. My heart rate has only been low zone 2 at the highest, so not bad at all. I don't know if they'd be my marathon shoe, but I can see where they'd be a good shoe for somebody who needs support and might not be running a sub 3 marathon or even a sub 3:30. I think these are going to be a good shoe. You know, maybe not for racing for me, but a good kind of carbon plated workout shoe. A shoe where I can do up-tempo workouts without wasting my more expensive super shoes. So far so good. I kind of like it. It's not wowing me, but I can see its value. It is very stable. I don't mind the firmness for a 7-mile run. I just don't know if I can take it for a full marathon. Okay, we're back. A couple of good runs. My last real big long run, 20+ mile long run in the Alphafly 3s went really well. Still up in the air whether I'm going to wear those for the London Marathon or the Elites. So just a couple of things so you know what I'm thinking. The Alphafly 3s really do fit well. I really like that upper. It's very soft and pliable. The Elites are a little narrower, a little smaller. I did order a half size up in the Alphafly 3s, but the upper in the Saucony Elites is a little more abrasive, a little bit stiffer. It's a little bit tighter. I had no problem in my races in the first pair that I bought. The second pair I bought, I did take out on my 16-mile run this past weekend, and it was a little abrasive. I actually got a blister on the outside of my right foot little toe. I don't know if it's just because they needed time to break in, but you know, I'm a little worried about that. So I did test them out again today, the ones that I've been racing in. Figure if I'm going to take the Elites, I'm going to take the pair I've been using already. They only have about 40 miles on them. So I took those out today. I went on an 8-mile run just to see, am I getting the same type of hot spots there? The Alphafly 3, no hot spots at all. The only question there is if it works really well for my mechanics. That is the only thing that I'm kind of still on the fence about. As far as the ASICS S4 Plus Yogiri, as you saw in the video, that's not going to be my marathon shoe. Not going to be my marathon shoe, but I really like that shoe. I think I'm going to really like that shoe as part of my weekly training routine for those up-tempo runs, so I don't have to use my super duper super shoes. So I really like them, and as you can see, as I told you in the video, they are friggin' gorgeous. As for my nutrition plan, as you saw in the video, I'm gonna take a Crank Sports E-Gel every 30 minutes. Crank Sports E-Gel with water. In the London Marathon, at least up to this year, they give little plastic water bottles, which is better than the cups because I can carry it with me. So the plan is every 30 minutes, on 30 minutes, I'm gonna take a Crank Sports E-Gel. Now, I'm also going to take one about 30 minutes before the race. The question is going to be, when do I introduce the turbo E-Gels, the caffeinated E-Gels? Probably around mile 16 to 18 will be the time I take the first one. I don't want to caffeinate myself early on in the race, right? I want to get the benefit out of it when I need it the most. That's later in the race. So I'm planning on taking 8 with me out on the course. I really only need about 7, but I want to have an extra one. Hey, if I drop one, or if I really am struggling in the later miles and I really need a boost, I'm going to have an extra E-Gel with me. I'm also going to take some salt tabs. I'm going to have them there. I'm probably going to take one every hour. And if I need them, depending on what the weather's like, I will take them as necessary. But I got to ward off cramps, right? I need to make sure I'm getting enough electrolytes in me. I'm not taking an electrolyte drink. But that's exactly why I like these E-Gels. These E-Gels have 37 grams of carbs, so I'm going to get 4 grams of carbs every hour. Plus, it has 230 milligrams of sodium and 85 milligrams of potassium in each one of these gels. So I'm going to get plenty of electrolytes just from the gels alone. If it's warmer and I'm sweating profusely, those salt tabs may come in handy. Now, as we get closer to marathon day, I'll go over my carb loading strategy. I'll also go over what I'm going to eat the day before and the morning of the marathon. So there you have it for this video. I'll be doing another one pretty quickly because I'm on marathon vacation now. That video will go over my training plan in a little more detail. So thanks again, and remember, lace up those shoes and let's get out of the roads.
Railroad tracks run along the creek, walk 'em up and down in the summer heat. Same old boy changing like the seasons, country kid turning to a town right heathen. Country kid turning to a town